Hello, YouTubers. Thank you for joining me on Brainbank TV, and this is the five videos. So that's Football Index videos. And as usual, we're just going to be talking a bit about the portfolio, what I'm doing at the moment, how we're progressing with things, whether we have any other new ideas and stuff like that, really. So just giving you guys a little update as to what I've got up to over the last few days and sort of the thought process that I've had in place with regards to some of the conditions that we have going on in the world. So I'd just like to start off by saying that I hope everyone's safe out there. Everyone's keeping safe with everything going on. We're seeing some real extreme conditions at the moment, and I do hope everyone is keeping safe and being blessed. So do continue to stay safe. Do abide by those confinement rules that we have in place at the moment, and yeah, do stay safe. But yeah, jumping straight into it. Basically, it's been a bit of a weird one. I've been trying to keep an eye on the football index market as regularly as I can. Pretty much try and check the platform every day, although you can't track every single player. That's pretty much impossible to do. But you do have your favorites. You have some players in your portfolio you like to keep your eyes on and see what their price movements are like and on a daily basis and whatnot. So, with regards to that, I've been monitoring some of the activity going on. A lot of the buzz in the platform has been around the media sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, that's what's paying the dividends at the moment. And with this sort of restructuring of the dividend over the last sort of month, they've kind of restructured it in a way where they're now accounting for that performance dividends in that media dividends. Hence, they're able to offer you stuff like the double dividends. And currently, we have they have a new structure in place that will be coming into effect. That's the 4th of April, which is the extension of that free place dividend holders to five. So yeah, that those are some exciting times to look forward to with regards to collecting some dividend payments. And with regards to that, I just have some stuff to talk about because it kind of changes your thought process with regards to how you should approach your portfolio and what you should be thinking about, really. But at the end of the day, everyone has their own way of trading. They're short-term traders in here. They're long-term buy, value, hold investors. There's all sorts of traders. So realistically, a lot of strategies do work in trading, as you might know. So it's just more to add to what's already out, well, what you guys already do, and maybe for some of you who are quite new to the platform and maybe don't have a, a good enough understanding of how to approach player selection, then this might be a different way of looking at a way of approaching player selection. So with regards to what's going on at the moment, the way I like to think of it, and I kind of approach it the same way a stockbroker or a stock trader would approach managing a portfolio, or should I say a stock investor. So with a portfolio, you want to be as diversified as you possibly could to sort of limit those peaks and troughs in your equity curve when you're going up. So you want to limit all those drawdowns and try and keep a steady ship as well as a steadily rising equity curve. That's the idea of creating wealth in a stock environment anyway. So with regards to that, what you people tend to do to kind of have that steady ship going upwards is have a diversified portfolio, and in that sense, in a stock basis, with regards to trading in the real world stocks, then what you would do is probably have a bunch of a percentage of a portfolio focused on company direct shares, right? Buying shares in direct companies. You might have some in bonds, so government bonds, direct company corporate bonds. You might have some in cash, like I do here on here. You can see my balance of 25.58. That's also liquid asset cash, and you can now have some in all sorts of different ETFs and whatnot and funds that you can invest in. And those are little different instruments that can help you then create that balanced flow of cash in that portfolio and keep that steady ship flowing upwards. Now, with regards to saying that, a lot of people have different ideas to how they manage their portfolio. I've got a friend who literally has three players in his portfolio and basically loaded the boat on all of them. And it just depends on how you want to approach it, what your style is, how much time you want to dedicate to the platform. But with regards to what's going on at the moment, and with regards to that diversification process, for those of you who've probably followed me for a while, then you might have seen my portfolio, where I showed you guys a portfolio that was quite, um, I wouldn't say too diversified, because a portion of my portfolio is concentrated on Arsenal players, which is a team that I support. And this is prior to, I started this portfolio prior to the coronavirus incident. So maybe a month or so after Arteta was appointed manager, or around that. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember really. I'd have to check the date on that. But I kind of acquired players and just bought a limited amount of numbers of them, so three, four here and there. And I only initially deposited 30 quid and had a 60 pound bonus giveaway on the account. And essentially what I did was kind of just split the portfolio into what I thought was right at the moment at that time, and I was kind of using it as a tester really, because I'd never traded on the platform at that point. So I had that done, got the portfolio to a value of about 84 pounds or so as of yesterday. And with all of that, it kind of allow me the time to monitor the platform and monitor my progress and see how things worked, because with new platforms like this, you kind of have to have a feel for what's going on and see what people do on the platform really. And so that's what I've been doing so far. And up until last weekend, I had an idea to switch it up a little, because I haven't kind of started to delve into how I'm going to restructure my portfolio. And as you might know, some of you might have already experienced this. Maybe you've already tried to sell a player and then realize you've kind of lost a lot more than you intended to lose on selling that player. Or you maybe just haven't really noticed because you haven't attempted to sell a player and you're a long-term investor. And then if that's the case, then maybe um, it's a good time to mention the huge differences in the spread price here. So that's the difference between the bid and offer price. So at the moment it's quite high, and those are precautions Football Index have probably taken to sort of reduce the outflows of sales on the platform, because obviously inevitably that would lead to a downturn in the footy, which is that index you see up there, and essentially would downgrade the value of the platform holdings as a whole, which isn't good. And obviously, that would be as a result of the lack of football at the moment and the news of the coronavirus hitting the world. So not a really good way for the platform to go after a well-established path so far. So as a result, they've had to increase that difference in the spread, and make it difficult for you to want to sell a player because of how much you would probably lose in doing so. So with regards to that, I haven't been able to sell any players so far, but I've kind of laid out in partial detail of how I'm going to start to get rid of these players. So there are a few on my list that I'm definitely going to be getting rid of. Granit Xhaka being one of them, and to name but one really. I haven't really looked through Ozil. Definitely going to be getting rid of him. Don't see why I bought him in the first place. But yeah, there's just going to be a few guys on here that I'm going to be getting rid of. But yeah, so that brings me back to what I was talking about, which is the strategy from this last weekend. So on Friday or so, I thought, you know what, I did some research using Index Gain. A shout out to them. They're a really brilliant platform for analyzing these statistics when it comes to football players. And yeah, so I used the platform to do some research on dividend earners. And what I'm trying to get at is with any balanced portfolio, you kind of have that group or basket of stocks or whatever it is that usually pay you some sort of premium for owning that stock or ETF or whatever it is. And in this case, as a player, so we get paid dividends, media dividends, performance dividends, and at the moment there's only media dividends. So to take advantage of that double dividends they've been paying out since the 10th, is it the 10th? So that started on the 10th of the March 2020, and has been going on ever since, and is due to conclude on the 3rd of April, and includes 3rd of April. So I think early morning 4th is when that will be ending, and then the 5 placeholder dividends will then kick in from the 4th. Which would then run throughout the whole of that month and is due to be reviewed at that last week of the month. So at the moment, with regards to all this, what I'm trying to get at is with no football going on, there's no real hope of getting any other kind of dividends apart from the media dividends. And what I thought was, why not start to kind of position my portfolio in such a way that it's then well diversified, but I then can take it into account some of those situations that I'm willing to bet on, really. So with regards to that, the theme at the moment is media dividends, right? So media dividends, high paying media dividends is a theme I've gone for because of the situation we found ourselves in. And with regards to that, I on Friday thought of Ronaldo, so I did the research I was doing, and the prices. So the top eight I found, which is from Ronaldo here to Bruno Fernandes, and I did it for a specific date, so it was from the first to the second, which is around the time that coronavirus issues started getting really bad, and everyone was getting really worried, and things were starting to shut down. So from then you can see the guys who earn the most dividends since then, and you can see Bruno Fernandes right at the top there, Jadon Sancho, Lionel Messi, and I kind of checked out the age. Obviously, you've got price and correlation with the correlation, sorry, correlation with the age. So the older they are, they tend to be cheaper on the platform, and you can see I kind of collated a list where I had a few players who I thought I would start to acquire to kind of balance out my portfolio and earn some of those dividends. And I had Lionel Messi, Gallo, and to name but a few, Ronaldo, and I already own Aubameyang. So I thought, do you know what? It's probably time to start doing that because of the fact that all we're going to be earning from here on end, and with the fact that there is no football, it's kind of hard to see those real capital appreciation and the value of the platform because the situation of no football instantaneously you're not going to get that many inflow of people wanting to buy and trade and in as frequent as they should. And with the lack of football, the idea of kind of buying players based on value and performance and trying to, you kind of can't do as much of that because realistically there's no football right now. It doesn't mean you can't do that and plan for the future, but if you're trying to position your portfolio for the now and then build on that, then it really isn't a good approach to go for. So saying that, I kind of thought of Ronaldo, and when I thought of Ronaldo, he was below where he is right now. I can actually see where Ronaldo is. Ronaldo is 320, so he was two. I think he was 303 when I was looking at him. I can't even remember. He's gone up by quite a lot in the last few days because he spent the next 4 days kind of winning media dividends, first, second, and third place. As you can see here, won it yesterday, third place. So kind of missed out on that one, but eventually I will probably end up owning them as well. But prior to 3 p.m. today, to take to be more involved with that media ranking day deadline for 3 p.m. British summertime, I kind of got on a button and got ready and basically acquired. Where is it? There we go. So we acquired Lionel Messi, and I got 17 shares of him today at £4.86. So it's currently 2p up and puts me in a profit of 34p. And that was a buy to position myself with regards to earning a little bit of dividends. And if he stays in pole position at the moment, not pole, he's not top, but he's currently at third place. If he finishes in that pole position where he can stand in that pole, then I'll be collecting some dividends fees for him tomorrow. Um, and that would be nice to kind of kick me off into that. Because currently at the moment, I think I only have, let's have a look. So I've only, right. So I spent £82.62 on him today. And yeah, Aubameyang seems to be the only one who's really paid me the dividends in this period that we're in without the football. So I've had some in-play dividends and whatnot from other players, but realistically, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's been the only person who's had paid me those dividends, and that's due to the rumors around surrounding his potential move to Real Madrid or one of these super clubs. So we don't know how that's gonna pan out, but I am planning to load up on them depending on the outcome. So the idea here is to create those holdings and position yourself right for this period. And I try to do it before pre-PM to be able to get involved with that daily dividend payout. So yeah, so that's what I really wanted to go with you guys today. And currently, I think Messi is still number 3, which would put me in pole position to collect that dividend payout tomorrow. Hopefully it stays that way, but you just don't know how it's going to finish because that kind of ends around midnight area. So we'll be keeping an eye on it and seeing how he trades during this period. And I've also noticed some proper price fluctuations on these players with these kind of buzz surrounding them, depending on what day. So yeah, that's just all my 2 cents I wanted to leave with you guys today, just to give you guys a little bit of a further understanding of how you could position yourself or plan your portfolio, um, and how you could kind of use a theme, kind of like dividend payers or rising stars or whatever theme you want to come up with to then go and find those players to action those themes for you. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. I do appreciate the support. And if you'd like the channel and the content, do share, subscribe, and do leave a note or comment if you have any views regarding what I've had to say so far. Thank you for joining me, and do look out for some more episodes. Bye for now.